If you listen close, I'll share a thought or two about who I am and what I'm trying to do. I have come to talk.
Let me just introduce folks. I don't think I need too much of an introduction for Tom Chapin. Everybody knows him. Just go to Wikipedia and you'll find about 10,000 pages about Tom Chapin. And
but don't believe what they say about my bio. The bio is totally wrong on that.
Oh, I'm sure, but you could clarify some of those things. But in any event, I always have considered Tom Chapin a real family man, just the kind of guy that you want to meet. If you're walking down the street and you run into somebody, he's the guy you want to meet. One thing I do want to point out to folks at the very get-go of this meeting is that Tom has a fantastic Facebook page. And if you go to his Facebook page, and I'm sure the link is on his website, tomchapin.com, you'll find so many great videos. In particular, a very recent hour and I don't know how long it was of a concert that Mary Sue Tui organized, I believe. Sort of a Thanksgiving kind of get together. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful concert. I still haven't gotten through the entire thing, but the Chapin sisters are there and everybody is seemingly having such a great time. And so check out Tom's Facebook page. Tom, you graduated from Brooklyn Tech. And, you know, I have to say, when I was in grade school, everybody wanted to go to Brooklyn Tech. It was the go-to high school. And to get into Brooklyn Tech, you had to have really good grades. I never got into Brooklyn Tech. I did get into Most Holy Trinity High School, and I survived through that. But while you were at Brooklyn Tech, you played basketball, which is something
I didn't.
And you received in 1986 you went on to the State University at Plattsburgh, and in 1986 you received an award. You went into the State Hall of Fame at Plattsburgh, so you're quite a basketball player also.
Well, it's interesting because I didn't play in high school. I went to Brooklyn Tech, but I played in the streets of Brooklyn. With men, but Brooklyn Tech was in a very tough division, and somehow I never tried out for the basketball team, even though I was killing the team members. We were 1-17 my senior year, but we were in with, this is trivia, but we were in the same league with Boys High and Midwood and all these fabulous, Connie Hawkins and all these great players. And Brooklyn Tech was a very good football school, but not a very good basketball school. But so when I got to college, I really wanted to play because I've been playing in the streets. And I went to SUNY Plattsburgh State and was in the Hall of Fame there. Ended up as 1 year being nominated NAIA All-American, honorable mention All-American. And I played one summer. The high point of my career was I played one summer with Dr. J. And
get away
in the Rucker tournament in Harlem. And my nickname was the Sundance Kid. It was around the time of Butch Cassidy's Sundance Kid. I was a little blonder then, and I had a mustache, and I could shoot. so they always had an announcer, you're playing up in Harlem on the hard courts, and Dr. J was still with the Virginia Squires, hadn't got to the nets yet. What a wonderful guy and an amazing player. And so I was the sixth man. Everybody else ended up playing professional basketball then. But anyway, that was fun. That's a comic strip existence way back when.
Yeah. What neighborhood did you grow up in Brooklyn?
I grew up in Brooklyn Heights.
Did you really?
My stepfather bought a brownstone back when it was a real mixed neighborhood for $16,000.
Get away. My God.
And we lived 45A Hicks Street, and we were half a block from PS8, which is the school we went to. And there was a schoolyard there, which every weekend was, men would come and play softball or basketball or touch football. And I grew up playing with these, grown men. And when you got, 14 and 15, you started getting chosen to play. And that's where I really learned to play basketball. We spent our life playing ball, doing that stoop ball. It was a wonderful neighborhood in that way.
I
In
started
fact,
work.
I wrote on the new album. I have a song called "They Killed My Street in Brooklyn,"
Neat.
which is
Okay.
about the idea of how gentrification and things just change in your life, and you go back and say, "Wow,
I
I was going to
grew
look looking
I
for you know."
I grew up in Williamsburg, but I worked in Crown Heights at
Uh,
what was then the School for the Deaf. It was a very small, little red
uh,
schoolhouse that eventually turned into a Montessori school. But I started
I
working
know
there.
that building. I know that building.
Do you
Yeah,
know it? Really?
yeah.
Yeah, it's a cute little building. I worked there from 67 through the early 70s when we moved to Eastern Parkway across from the Brooklyn Museum, the
Uh,
old Bishop McDonald High School,
wow.
and converted into the School for the Deaf, and it's still
And,
there now.
and what did
But
you teach?
I'm a speech pathologist by
Oh, really?
yeah,
Oh,
and
cool.
I worked with. I had one of the hardest jobs trying to teach the deaf to speak,
Sure.
and they didn't want to do it. Of course, sign language. We were what was called a total communication school, so we used sign language as well as speech, but my forte was speech, of course, and
Did you learn American Sign Language?
oh yeah, I know American Sign Language pretty well.
We do a song called Family Tree, and we learned a simple way to go. We're a family and you're a
I
tree. Our roots
uh-huh,
go deep
uh-huh,
down in history. From my
exactly.
great grandmother, great granddaddy, reaching up to me. We're a green and growing
There you go.
family tree. That's as much
Excellent.
as I know, but but it's a wonderful thing when we doing kids concerts. We teach the families and parents and kids how to do that one song in
So cool.
sign language.
Now, your new album, Hold Your Ground, made quite a splash on the charts. I do believe I mentioned some of the accolades when we did the radio interview, but in September when it came out, it hit it hit number 3 on the album list. You were number 3 artist. You had about 6 different songs that made the top
People
20
are
from
playing
that
it.
album.
Yeah, it's great.
Fantastic accomplishment. And of course, you're Tom Chapin. Everybody knows Tom Chapin. Just a real, before you play some songs, I know I definitely want you to play some music for us,
Great.
which in and of itself is a treat because your Facebook channel and your webpage, tomchapin.com, has 25 tabs for different kinds of things. And I was looking through them, and every one is fascinating. Maybe we'll talk about some of them, but
Right.
the album is called Hold Your Ground, and on the homepage of your website, there's a little video of you and your girls
Ah,
singing together, and I tell you that song just blows me away, and especially with the 3-part harmonies, it's absolutely
yeah.
beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyway, so do you have a little song?
That's a song that well, maybe I'll do that since you just mentioned it.
Okay.
That's the easiest thing. I'll pick up the auto harp and sing that. It's this is a song that my friend and you know him, Sai Khan,
Of course.
sent me some lyrics, and then he said, you finish it, so I'm gonna take one of the ears out because I can't play with that, but and I ended up writing a kind of a hymn, a kind of a protest hymn. Let me get the words out just because I wasn't prepared to sing this. Let me get it right. When times grow dark and life grows mean, the hardest times we've ever seen, when darkness overwhelms the dawn, can we find strength to carry on when high winds tear down what we build, do we give in to blame and guilt, or work and fight as we've done before, and rise once more, and rise once more? You are here, I am here, we are here together through times of strife, through times of fear. We will hold our ground forever. And that chorus has an answer part. You are here, hold our ground. I'm here, hold our ground. We are here together through times of strife, through times of fear. Hold our ground. We will hold our ground forever. When tempers and the earth grow hot, we'll trust the goals for which we fought. We'll not lose sight of a brighter day, nor lose one friend along the way. You are here, I'm here, we are here together through times of strife, through times of fear. We will hold our ground forever. We will hold our ground forever. The common good is still our creed, to each according to their need. Though oceans rise and high winds wail, our quiet courage will prevail. You are here, I'm here, we are here together through times of strife, through times of fear. We will hold our ground forever. We will hold our ground forever.
Oh my God. How great is it to be able to sing with Tom Chapin?
Even though we're on Zoom, which means there's a lag back and forth.
Oh, was
I
yeah,
hope your
yeah.
listeners are singing along too.
Oh man, I hope so. So the album is Hold Our Ground, and as I said, it's made quite a splash in the folk community on the charts. Everybody knows you're the brother of Harry Chapin, who unfortunately left us way, way too early. By the way, years ago when I don't know, were you involved in Harry's Broadway performance show?
I was his understudy, which of course I never got on, but I was in the band.
Oh,
And,
really? I was at
and
one of those shows.
did you go to one of those the night that
Oh
made
my
her
God!
famous? Yeah.
How great
Yeah.
was that? And
It
of
was
course,
it was great fun, and my brother Steve was also the music director, and it was just just a total goof to be on Broadway, and
absolutely.
and
How
then
many shows? What did you do?
well, it only lasted 2 or 3 months, I think.
Okay.
It was not. In retrospect, they tried to do some crazy things. With some of it worked, some of it didn't. but it was a total hoot and a blast. I remember it was an interesting time because Harry was never, in terms of his career, it was a terrible time to do Broadway because Cats in the Cradle had just hit, and he should have been out touring. His management said, "You got to be touring now," but he really wanted to do Broadway, and Harry was unmanageable as a guy. He was going to do what he wanted to do, for better or for worse. But it was an amazing thing to be on Broadway with that. Later on, I did a show called Pump Boys and Dinettes as the lead for 6 months, but that was really just every night, just coming in with my brothers and Harry's band, and it was quite fun.
Yeah. And
I got to tell you, we're taping this on a Thursday, but yesterday, on the 8th of December, yesterday, the 7th of December, 2022, was Harry's 80th birthday.
I saw that on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a wonderful video. They had an event last night, but it'll probably happen again. But Steve and I sang Taxi and Sunday Morning Sunshine with our daughters, with my daughters, as a prelude to then the documentary, When in Doubt, Do Something, which is, you can find, I think, on Amazon Prime. When in Doubt, Do Something. It's a wonderful documentary by Rick Korn and S.A. Barron about Harry. Really strong.
And
while in full flight.
While we're on that subject, just please do speak a little bit about. There is a tab on your website about helping out and donating. And of course, Why Hunger is one of those incredible causes. I know that it's one of my charities.
Yeah, this is the time of year when Hungerthon is happening.
Absolutely.
Way back when Harry started, it was called World Hunger Year, WHY.
Okay.
An acronym, but that was always kind of complicated. So funny they end up saying Why Hunger,
Why
which
Hunger?
says it exactly. But Harry started doing radio things where he'd do it 24 hours. It was a Hungerthon. It really was a 24-hour thing of him on the radio. Started at WNEW here in New York City with Pete Fornatel and the various people, and I'd get a call. I was in Brooklyn, and 2:30 in the morning. Harry had been there from noon to noon, I think. And he calls me up and he said, "Tom, it's getting a little quiet up here. Why don't you come up and help?" So I get out of bed and jump in the subway and go up to NEW. But this is now the Hungerthon right now. It's taking place at whyhunger.org.
Okay.
And you can get amazing things, including bidding on the Tom Chapin and Friends as a house concert. And that's one of the places. But go to whyhunger.org, check it out. There's all kinds of wonderful swag, shirts and stuff, but also really incredible things happening. And all the money goes to this 4-star charity that's been doing wonderful work, putting hungry people in touch with food and helping them towards self-reliance ever since 1975.
Wow, amazing.
And, that's one of the great legacies that Harry left, along with Long Island Cares.
What got him interested in doing this in the first place? Is there any kind of inspiration that?
Well, he met Bill Ayers, who
was
a DJ, but also had been a priest and had a show on, I think, PLJ for many years called On This Rock, midnight on Sunday night. And I was, when I did Make-A-Wish, he had me on the radio, and I said, and Harry was just starting, and I said, "Hey, I met Bill. He was a great guy and really nice interview." I said, you should get Harry. You ask good questions." So Harry came and did it, and they hit it off really well. They lived close together out in Long Island. So Harry said, "Come to dinner," and they started talking about what Bill was very, as an ex-priest, was always looking for ways to help humanity, and they started talking about the hunger issue, that this is a country that can feed itself 10, 12 times over. And yet right now there's something like 12 million children who are, might not know where they're going to eat this. And over 30 million during the middle of COVID, it was up to 50 million, some people who were just not knowing where the next meal was coming from. And Harry and Bill said, "Okay, what can we do?" And they said, "Well, maybe we could do a Bangladesh concert for hunger, like George Harrison had done." And this is back in 75. So they went to the UN. Harry knew some people there, and they said, "Good idea," and it never quite happened. But in the course of that, they began really studying this and realized that a concert, even the Bangladesh concert was so huge, does not change it in any way. It's just like a big flashbulb, boom, and then everybody forgets about it a week later. And they said, what we need is an organization that's going to do the good, hard, heavy work this today, next week, next year, 10 years from now. And Harry and Bill really hit it off, and they both kind of said, and that was the genesis of World Hunger Year. They both kind of dedicated their lives. They said, this is a lifetime work. And Harry, of course, lived only 6 more years, from 75 and was killed in 81.
What a shame.
And I was his benefit band the last 5 years too. He was the one who was keeping it alive just by doing half of his concerts for Why Hunger. And he'd play a place, and then 6 months later come back to that place who wanted him back, and he'd call me up. Hey, Tom, what are you doing this weekend? I said, I'm off. He says, well, okay, meet me at LaGuardia on Thursday night. I'll get you a plane ticket. You help me do some concerts, and I'd be doing 5 or 6 concerts over the weekend, and various. Even in Canada, we go up to Thunder Bay, Ontario, or someplace.
Wow.
And in retrospect, it was fabulous because I spent time with Harry that I wouldn't have otherwise. We were both. I had my own career. I was doing Make-A-Wish and doing concerts. My TV show Make-A-Wish. And Harry was really a major star, and so we'd see each other at Thanksgiving and Christmas and talk to each other now and again. And if I did a show with him, so those shows, I spent 30, 40 nights a year doing shows with Harry, and I treasure those times because
absolutely,
who knew he'd be gone,
And speaking of shows, you have some shows coming up in the kind of the local area. So this should air before those programs. I mean, those concerts that you're doing. Yeah. I'm trying to find the dates of them here.
I'm doing my Mohonk on the 20 before at the end of the year. I'm not sure if you should be on before the end of December. This show.
Okay, the 27th and 28th. Turning Point in Piermont.
Wonderful club, and that's a fabulous one. It's with John and Michael, my wonderful John Cobert and Michael Mark. John Cobert wrote Baseball Tonight theme song. He was in John Lennon's last band.
Oh,
fabulous instrumentalist and musician. And Michael Mark wrote Entertainment Tonight. Da, 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 da. And it's been was on Broadway as well. So my wonderful 2-man band, and we'll be with them, and also at Mohonk on the 30th of December in Mohonk Mountain House in.
Now you've won numerous Grammy Awards, and of course you mentioned the Make-A-Wish show, the television show, which you. How many years did that go on, the Make-A-Wish show?
It went on for 5 years. It won a Peabody Award early on.
Peabody also,
and then once it won the once it won the Emmy, it won the Emmy in the 5th year.
Okay.
And once they did that, they said, "Okay, we'll take it off now. We're not going to win another Emmy." And so, but we did it for 5 years, and it was really wonderful. And I actually got Harry to write the songs for Make-A-Wish.
Oh, did you?
He wrote 26 songs per year and made more money as a songwriter than I did as the host. So he bought his house out in Long Island, and he sometimes called it the Make-A-Wish house because he put down he bought it after he started writing songs for Make-A-Wish.
Now you have a newly released CD that's been nominated for a Grammy. This Pretty Planet.
Yeah. That was nominated for a Grammy in 2000. We lost to Elmo, but it was best children's recording. It was one of 5 of my children, family recordings that were nominated for Grammy. So I was nominated 8 times. I won 3 times, but it's always amazing just to be nominated. And this album is called This Pretty Planet, and now that's 22 years ago, but it is still prescient.
Wow.
Is the songs we wrote then, like this pretty planet spinning through space. You're a garden, you're a harbor, you're a holy place. Golden sun going down, gentle blue giant, spin us around all through the night. Safe till the morning light around from the round earth. And on the recording, this unknown folk singer named Judy Collins is singing
Oh my
with
God.
me. And my daughters, Abigail and Lily, were 4 and 6. No,
Wow.
6 and 8. And they sing on it as well because it's around. So you have a children's choir. I sing, Judy sings, the children sing. And that song has become a standard in grammar school music programs.
Really?
Over during COVID. Just if you're interested, just Google This Pretty Planet YouTube, and there's about 1,000 teachers who had to start teaching, music teachers who had to start teaching their kids in grammar schools all over the country. And this is one of the songs they used.
Oh, how great is that?
And it's unbelievable. So that's a lovely. This is going to probably be on my tombstone if I have it.
Fantastic. Let me ask you.
I got to tell you, it's written by John Forster and myself.
Oh, really?
Who is a wonderful songwriter and a longtime collaborator. And so the two of us pretty much wrote that first recording. There are now 13 recordings, but we wanted to re-release it. We put a couple of extra songs on it, and it's been 20 years and 22 years, and we thought that the songs are really, all those things we've been talking about for this long time, they're still terribly important.
Yeah.
If we don't have that environment, we don't have our lives. So.
Absolutely. And you are such an amazing mentalist and activist, as is Sai Khan. He's just an amazing person. And let me ask you one question. You mentioned Judy Collins. I asked this of all of the well-known people that I've interviewed. You've played with so many people. Is there one person you've never sung with that you would love to sing with someday?
Oh, well, how about Paul McCartney or somebody?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
It's wonderful to see the Let It Be movie that they put out,
Yeah.
and watching him.
How they did
I think he's a genius, and there's always saying, well, John was the one, and they all were amazing, all 4 of them. But you watched him, and to walk in with, all of those incredible songs that he came in with. Yeah. Let's see who else would I like to sing with. Yes. Well, I got a chance just recently to sing with Janis Ian again, and which is lovely. And I did it. And Livingston Taylor is a great friend.
Now you do sing. You have sung with Livingston, haven't you? I've seen
many times. And in fact, we're doing some more on the road, but down in Florida and various things. We're good buddies. We've known each other a long time.
Great.
The other great friend is John McCutcheon.
John.
Many things with.
I interviewed John.
We did a whole album called "Doing Our Job" together, a live album with my friend Michael Mark.
Well, listen. I know this interview is going to cut us off pretty soon, so I am not letting you go without you performing. I told you this before, that years ago, Sonny Oaks and myself and a couple of other guys, you did a concert up in Middleburg, and I vividly remember you walking out of the church that you performed in, singing a song, and as you walked out, you played that song at the as you left the church. So
I was on the auto harp again. I think it was Tomorrow.
I would love for you to perform that for us,
sure.
And then we could say goodbye. I'll let you go. I know you got so many things to do. It was hard enough getting you on with COVID and all of the.
Well, I'm so pleased to be with you, Artie. Thank you. This is a song also from that very first family recording. This Pretty Planet was on it. It's a family recording. It's called Family Tree. But it's my kids' shows. If it's an adult show, I always end with "All my life's a circle," But all my life's a circle, sunrise and sundown. Harry's great song that he wrote for Make-A-Wish. But for family recording, we do a family concert. And on the original recording, who sang with me but Judy Collins and my daughters. I don't like to say
goodbye. I don't want today to end, but we will be happy together tomorrow again. Together tomorrow, my friend. We will be happy together tomorrow again. Now you may walk a rocky road, my road may twist and bend. We'll share all our stories when we get together tomorrow again. Every day must pass away, never to come again. Tonight when I'm sleeping, I'll dream of us being together tomorrow again. Together tomorrow, my friend. Tonight when I'm sleeping, I'll dream of us being together tomorrow again. Together tomorrow
Tom Chapin, thank you so much for joining me today, and just keep on doing what you've been doing all these years. You're a great guy. You're a great family.
Thank you, Artie, and you too.
And I'm so
rolling,
proud.
man.
Thank you. I'm so proud to have you join me here today. Thanks a million, Tom. Hold your ground.
Thank you. Hold yours as well.
Take care, Tom.
When times grow dark and life grows mean, the hardest times we've ever seen.
When darkness overwhelms the dawn, can we find strength to carry